What's up, everybody? Welcome to Episode 5 of the Blue River Bow Hunting Podcast. I have a returning guest this week for a very special reason. I have Brian Melton from Buck Tags Unlimited. How's it going, Brian?
Oh man, it's a beautiful day here in Northern Kentucky. Thanks for having me on again, man. You make me feel like an important celebrity here with all these invites, so I
Well, this
appreciate it.
is well, this is a special show, one that we
Yeah.
didn't know was gonna happen so fast. But congratulations on the big buck, man. That's
I,
awesome.
Thank you, sir. I greatly appreciate it. A lot of hard work went into it, but everything paid off. Paid off in
Uh,
just a few moments.
that's awesome. What's
Yes, sir.
that? 10 or not? Well, it's 10 days into your season now. So how many days did you actually get to hunt before you killed him?
7 days, man. 7 days.
7 days.
And every day that I could hunt, I was in the tree, and he gave me a golden opportunity that I couldn't pass up on day 7 there. So exactly a week into the season, he showed up in daylight.
Well, I know me and Ryan had been keeping up quite a bit on your social media. He
Right?
would text me or when he was over, man, them bucks that Brian's been seeing, that's awesome, and the deer has
Yeah.
been seeing. I'm like, I don't know how he passed that one up as many times as he did because I don't know if many people could. He was a stud, but you knew
Yeah.
that you had those other bucks in there.
Yeah, but I was questioning my sanity, man, because when I would check the cameras, the big bucks weren't. They were coming in at, late hours, 11 o'clock, midnight, 02, 04, and I just kept the faith going. And I talked to a couple of friends, and my buddy's like, "Look, do not shoot that 3.5-year-old 8 point. That big buck's gonna slip up. You let them be their comfort zone, and that's gonna pull him in." And sure enough, man, it worked like a charm.
That's awesome. So I always forget what county. What county is that?
That county, I was hunting in Bracken County. So
Bracken.
I hunt Bracken and Pendleton County here in northern Kentucky.
I got you. I
Yeah.
know a few people had asked me because actually we were watching the race in my garage, me and the neighbor and the
Uh-huh.
wife and everybody. When you sent the initial picture of
Yeah.
the deer after you killed him, and me and Adam were going crazy in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
garage. We're like, we got him, we got him.
Yeah.
And then after him seeing that, because you guys are together on the bow hunting league
Yeah.
team, he goes, man, that's putting a lot of pressure on me now.
Yeah. I still got to get the tape out and get him scored. I've got some potential opportunities to have a good organization come in and score him. So kind of waiting on that. But I'm going to go ahead and break the tape out this weekend. Uh, get get an estimate on it just to see where he's at. So
Right.
I've had some people guess some wild figures. So I'm
What now?
curious to see.
What do you personally think it's going to be around?
I think gross maybe about 168 ish, and I think maybe a net's 160 to
160.
162
When
ish. Yeah,
I guessed 163 was my guess. And
right.
I'm usually pretty close. I'm not saying
Yeah,
I'm an expert
right,
by any
right, right,
means,
right,
but
right.
but my guesses are usually pretty close. And I said
Right.
163,
Yeah,
that is a very special buck. And you
yeah.
finally got that velvet buck we were talking
Yes,
about.
yes, sir, definitely, man. So the kick to that though is for official Boone and Crockett score, the velvet has to come off, all that stuff. But I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze there because I think he'll look a lot better on the wall with a velvet.
Oh,
And yeah,
absolutely. If I got to hunt the Kentucky Velvet, which next year is on my list, we are going. I'm not going to Michigan to Lake Michigan
all right.
next year. I'm going velvet hunting in Kentucky,
Well,
and
I might know a place I could put you in a tree. I don't know. We'll have to see.
right. We'll get to that a little bit
Right.
later. But
Okay.
let's hear it. Let's hear the story about this monster.
All right. So last year, man, true story. Got the permission to hunt this little broken up property in Bracken County, and casual conversation. Lady was super nice and said, "Hey, I got some farmland," and I was kind of jokingly said, "Well, if you got deer, I'd love to be over there to see, what kind of deer is there and hunt some if you don't mind." She said, "Well, you can come over and do whatever you want to." I'm like, "All right, so let's check it out." And it was a unique terrain features, and I honestly went to this little hillside with a cedar thicket on one side and a uh, field and power line on the back end, and put a camera up, and here comes some of these big Muy Grande, just giant bucks cruising through there, and really didn't have an ideal place to set up to hunt it, so it was a bit of a challenge. I found a tree this year that kind of tucked me away at about 23 yards from where they were coming up, and I rolled the dice on it, man. Got set in, and main thing was just sitting still and enjoying the view. I mean, I had some great entertainment with all those bucks coming in. Um, so, but last year he just went ghost on me. Of course, later, probably 2 or 3 weeks into the season, and this year he started showing back up, just much bigger, much healthier, and thicker buck. And man, when he showed up with me in the stands, when the excitement really happened, though.
Oh, I can only imagine seeing him come in like that with the velvet on, and I'd probably been pretty shook up.
It was exciting. I mean, I had that big tall eight, that young eight that was there. I had a big body cull buck, I would call him, that was in there. That give that big 12 a good sense of security. And I mean, when he come up the hill, man, he looked like a big mule deer with a head rocking back and forth. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to happen. This is happening right now. So I'm thinking every step I'm thinking out in my head. All right, slowly put your hand on the Tacticam, turn it on.
I can't
Slowly,
wait to see
yeah,
the footage from this. By the
yeah.
way,
I'm just waiting. I've got to get a chance to sit down and do the pre-interview, post-interview, put the narration to it, throw together about a 5-minute hunt, and it's going to be pretty good. I got some pretty good second-year rookie footage, I'll have to admit. So
well, even if it's second year rookie footage, I believe when it comes to YouTube and social media,
all right,
I feel like a big buck or a special video like
yeah,
that can really kickstart a smaller a smaller team like
yeah,
mine and yours.
yes, sir,
It's like I feel like a really good video like that could
yeah,
really kick into gear and get some eyes on you. I know, like
yeah,
I put the congratulations on Twitter and everything, and
yes,
it looked like you got a lot of likes on that picture.
yes, yeah,
Which
it
we're not always going for likes, but I
right,
know that you on some of your stuff you hadn't get as many likes as you
yeah.
probably deserved,
All right.
anyways.
Well, no, I appreciate it, man. And Twitter's a dice roll. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, it feeds into those algorithms of who's liking it, who's commenting. But definitely got a lot of attention out of that, and I appreciated that love from everybody there as well. On Instagram and Facebook. So it was definitely a good boost. Good
Right.
boost.
So he comes in, and how far was the shot?
23 yards. So he come in, man, and just he was head on coming up the hill straight at me. So there obviously no shot there. And that little smaller rack cull buck was kind of in his way, and the cull buck pushed out of the scene there for a minute, and the big buck took advantage of where he was standing, come over and give me a quarter two shot, and everything from there was just perfect.
That's
It really
awesome.
was.
So how far did he run from where you shot him?
He made it about 75 yards before he piled up. In the picture there, you can see where the shot goes in, just right behind the shoulder, in between, just right above the heart, in between the heart and lungs.
Hmm.
But that hellhound broadhead actually penetrated all the way through and was stuck in the bone of his rear left leg.
I seen that when
So
the picture actually that we
yeah,
used for the thumbnail here on the
hmm
on the YouTube. You can actually see that marking on his leg.
yes, that's where that broadhead was into the bone all the way back into that leg. So and you see him when the arrow hits him, he hunkers down, and I mean he was definitely not going far with where that arrow
Well,
the way
that's
it
awesome
was.
because
Yeah.
last time you were on, we talked a lot about those broadheads and what
Yep.
you were planning on shooting this year. So, are
Yes,
are
sir.
you happy with the results?
Oh, couldn't be happier, man. Could
I
not be happier.
guarantee it.
Yeah. I'm ready to sling some more, that's for sure.
I got you, man. So have you checked out a lot of the footage that you had? Did you just get the shot on the Tacticam, or did you get it on your
Now,
other camera as well?
I got two angles, 2 points of view there on that shot.
That
So
is
it's
unbelievable.
gonna it's gonna come together real well.
I'm
Yeah.
so happy for you, man.
Yeah. I was stoked.
You practice all this stuff. Everything goes
Yeah.
through your mind.
Yeah.
You put so much time in throughout the summer and
Yes.
even the spring, and then to pay off 7 days into your
Yes.
season
Yeah.
is unbelievable, man.
It is.
I'm ecstatic for you, really.
I was too. I was too, man. And the best, one of the best parts of that video there is when I grab the camera and I turn it around. I'm like, "What just happened? What just happened? That just happened! Oh my
That's
god!
awesome.
So excited! Yeah,
Well, when you get it all put together, we'll definitely get it out on social
Yes.
media for you and everything like that. Because I can't wait to see it. I mean,
I,
I'm pumped up.
I can send you a sneak peek of it there.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I can do that. So, like I said, I just got to make the time to sit down and do the kind of the post interview and the backstory there for it, narrate it.
Right.
Yeah.
We had been texting a little bit, the days afterwards, and
Uh-huh.
you said it was a late night for you.
It was. It was. I'm flying solo here, man. But I tell you what, if it hadn't been for the landowners, I could have not gotten that deer in the back of my truck. It was all I could do to get it up the hill and to the truck.
Hmm.
And they come over, brought their end loader tractor. It's got a bucket on the front of it, and
Hmm.
scooped him up, and we put him in the back of the truck. I bet he weighed 230, 240 pounds. He
Well,
was
so that
just
was
a
my next
massive.
question. Did you
Yeah.
get an actual weight on him?
No, I didn't. And I've got a scale here, man. But as soon as I got home, took some pictures and really just got to work. I had to use my side by side to tie the 3-in-1 pulley system to, and drive it out in the driveway to hoist him up. I couldn't even budge
Oh,
him. So
that's a big buck then.
he was massive.
So
Yeah.
we talk a lot about scent control and
Hmm.
all this. What do you think really led to your keys to success on this particular deer?
Okay. Obviously, scent control, stand placement, and patience. With the scent control, I've got the little travel bag, scent crusher bag. I run it. Um, well, let me back up a little bit. Everything I use for my scent control, I mean, honestly, from my underwear to the towel I use getting out of the shower, is washed in the dead downwind. It's kept in the scent crusher closet. It was ran on the cycles there through that, and then I wear my light clothes, maybe a pair of shorts and a t-shirt to where I'm going to hunt. I change there, get my stuff out of the scent crusher bag, spray a little dead downwind on, get in the stand, spray a little more on, and sit down and be quiet. Well, like Fred Bear used to say, hey, even your granddad could kill deer, in a flannel shirt. You just sit down and be
Yeah,
quiet.
right.
So,
What was the weather like today? Was it really hot?
we were having some cool spells at night and in the morning. So we had probably a 20-degree temperature difference. But I think what played into the best of my luck there was just the right moon phase.
Hmm.
We were going, from a small crescent moon to about a half moon or something, and um, I was right there on the cusp of it, and it brought him out right at the edge of dark, right at 8:05. He stepped up. So
I say how much shooting time did you actually have left?
I had probably about 20 minutes. So things move so quick, and I think I put on the a social media post there a while back. The longest, most boring hunt can all change and be the hunt of a lifetime in
A
a matter of
matter of
seconds.
seconds, man.
Seconds, and it really was that night. It was.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Um, Setup wise, was it the one that you'd sent me a picture of where you had changed locations?
It sure was, man. So the first stand setup didn't work out very well. Uh, Relocated to a spot. It took a little reason I didn't want to get in the tree I was in. I had to cut some extra limbs, and it was very invasive getting in there. So I'm always leery about that, especially when I'm going to be hunting it so soon.
Hmm.
But the deer didn't pay it a lot of attention. But when they would look up, stop moving, look down, don't make eye contact, and
Right.
uh, just let them be at ease and use those smaller, younger bucks and younger deer as decoys and build that sense of security that can come in.
Now, a lot of the bucks that we're seeing did you have any that had came in that were out of velvet?
One coal buck, I called it, small, thin rack, 8 point. He was big, heavy body, and some of the younger bucks, some of the little 6 points, and the smaller basket eights were out of velvet.
Yeah, I was
But
checking some cameras the other day, and obviously we got some spy points out. The weekend of your hunt, that Friday
uh,
before Labor Day weekend, I actually had two bucks come out of velvet that
right,
Friday. That
wow,
Friday morning, I had pictures of them in outside velvet, and actually, you were the first person that came into my mind. I'm like, damn, them big bucks he's chasing down there. I hope they're not out of velvet
yeah,
yet.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He was still in it. Of course, some of it came off during the crashing and the piling up there, but he still looked very good. I know a good taxidermist that's going to bring it back to life for me.
Now,
So.
is that a taxidermist that you use regularly? Somebody that you feel comfortable with?
No, actually, this is going to be a new guy. Actually, I think I'm going to go with a taxidermist that did one of these state record bucks that was harvested here last year. It's a state record crossbow buck.
Hmm.
I think he ended up like 188-inch buck or something. It's just massive.
Yeah, that's a big
The
buck.
guy works down the road down here, so he reached out to me and gave me some leads there. So
Right. That's one thing I'm gonna have to deal with this year if I happen to be lucky enough to
there,
kill one big enough to go on the wall. Is the taxidermist that I've used on all these bucks back here?
uh,
He actually retired and he's going
really,
out to Colorado, Arizona to guide some elk.
oh
So
wow,
I'm in the market for a new taxidermist,
right,
and I will travel to take my buck somewhere because
right,
I like quality work.
yes,
I'm very particular on my taxidermy work.
yes,
The guy
it should
that
be,
did these behind me, unbelievable. I mean,
yeah,
it's a little more expensive than I
yeah,
know what some people pay. I paid $550
right,
a piece, and I loved him.
oh yeah,
I think I was 55th in line, and it took like I think the last couple I took were in the November range, and
right,
I got them back in like August or something. So it
right,
wasn't like a full year, but
right,
I will wait a full year to
yes,
get a buck done right because I don't want to take it somewhere and it look like crap and it just kind
right,
of ruin your your memory
yeah,
of it a little bit or
yeah,
you know.
yeah. There's nothing worse than getting one back and not being happy with it. So
So
I've
did you see the double drop at any point during the
no,
year?
never did get eyes on him in the stand. Which I mean, if I would have, man, I probably would have had a heart attack because
Right.
it's crazy. I killed this big buck, but and when people look at me funny when I say there's a bigger one in there.
Right. Well, you can't pass that buck up. I
No,
mean,
no,
that thing 163 is my guess.
you're right,
160 high 50 150s.
you're
I
right.
mean, that's a is that going to be your biggest buck to date?
That will be the biggest buck to date. And I tell you what makes it even more special is when I post one of the pictures there on social media, the one where he's standing out and he's got his head turned back,
Hmm.
looking back down the field. My mom was the first one to comment on it. She said, "That's your buck." And I'm like,
Oh,
"Well,
that's
all right,
special.
yeah, that made it a little more special for me." And I said, "Well, if I get the opportunity on that buck first, then definitely I'm not going to pass him up. Anybody be
No.
crazy to."
Yeah, especially early with him still in velvet like
Right.
that. But you know, so with that being said, with him being off the board and oh boy, double drops being ghost on you, what other bucks do you have left in there that are worth shooting?
Oh, there's tons of them, man. I mean, honestly, that 3.5 year old big 8 point, anybody be crazy to pass on that buck, knowing that it was a good opportunity. Um, there's two old, just big, heavy bodied eights that are on the other side of the property that are coming in regular. There's another small drop tine on the other side of the property. I could probably tell you 12, 15 bucks that I would shoot if I had another tag. I
That's
mean, so
awesome.
there's plenty of good genetics left in the area, that's for sure.
Right. Well, did he come into a mineral site?
Well, it's a constant spot that I've always provided a supplemental food source at of some form or fashion. But this local place I'm working with here, Dixie Feed Company here in
Hmm.
Falmouth, Kentucky, the guy makes a mix called Buff Daddy deer feed, and it's a kind of like his own classified blend
Yeah.
of
Secret blend.
goodies, secret blend. But I tell you what, man, where that goes in the feeders, I got those tube feeders. The deer are literally eating the dirt out of the ground to get those absorbed minerals. That's how much nutrients and minerals are in that stuff he's putting out. So it works.
Right. Well, I've personally never been tagged out that early in
Uh-huh.
a hunting season. You know, like where do you go from here? You just gonna
Yep.
go plug and doze, like you know, shoot as
Yeah,
many as you possibly can, or
that's going to be one thing I'll be doing because my family and I go through a lot of deer meat too. I mean, I process all of it myself. I do summer sausage, smoked sausage, breakfast sausage, uh, all the deer jerky and all that stuff. But definitely going to help some other hunters out. I've got a guy I work with that is I took him out last year. He punched the tag on a beautiful doe, and we got that on film. And we're hoping to go out this weekend and get him a good buck. And it's going to be very special if we can get something to happen there for him.
Yeah, now you're turning into my job. Now you
Yeah,
got to be the cameraman the
yeah,
rest of the
yeah,
year.
yeah. I'm all right with that.
That's good.
Uh,
Yeah,
I do hope to get into Virginia, back to Northern Virginia, get up to Indiana, get a weekend or two with you guys. So
absolutely.
there's still some good potential. That's a good thing about being tagged out. You got some extra options open up
Absolutely,
for you.
and with the bow hunting league thing that we're all a part of now,
Mhm.
uh, you just keep adding that score up, man.
Yeah,
You be in
yeah,
there with the big dogs.
yeah.
I thought that I don't personally have Facebook. My
Uh-huh.
wife sets it up for me for our page on her private or her personal
Right.
Facebook account. But I went on there and looked, and it
Hmm.
looked like there had been some pretty good bucks taken in
Right.
Kentucky actually on there.
Yes.
I haven't done as much research as I probably should,
Right.
but I don't think you're too far down the list on
Oh,
some. They
that's
got
good.
some big ones
Yeah.
killed on there, but I think you're up
Yeah.
there on that list.
Good deal. Good deal, man.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm excited to get you to Indiana now. We'll
Yeah.
have to get that sorted out. I think
Yeah.
there's going to be a couple weekends there in October where I think it'd be nice for you to come up and hunt with us.
Sounds like a plan, man. We got to get you guys down here too, and I've got
Absolutely.
I got plenty of places to go and plenty of options. So
We actually picked up a new. Well, Ryan picked up a new piece this past week. We went and scouted it last night. It's only
uh,
5 acres,
oh wow,
but you know you don't need much to kill some
no,
of these big bucks. And we
no,
know a lot of people that hunt the area around close to this property,
uh,
and it's big buck heaven.
yeah,
It's not too far off Blue River, which is kind of like where we like to be.
right,
And I think it has like a hidden potential to be like, because it's a spot that's going to be really great for me and Ryan after work.
right.
It's kind of in the middle between where he lives and where I live.
Oh,
So I
that's
think
even
it'd
better.
be a
Yeah,
great meeting spot
yeah,
after work, so we don't have to burn some of
yeah,
those other places up so early on.
yeah,
And I think it's going to be a little hidden secret, like
yeah. Good deal,
something
man.
that we can just get. We got some cameras in there right now. Obviously, we just checked it out last night, so we don't
Right,
know nothing yet, but
right.
we're working on it for sure.
Good. Well, I got my fingers crossed for you guys, and I tell you, those little plots of land like that have minimum pressure can be a little sanctuary, and deer know
Absolutely.
that. Deer absolutely know that. So they,
It had some pretty good sign in it. It had a little
yeah,
creek that ran through the back of it, which is all dried up. We haven't
right,
had much rain here, but we saw some tracks.
right.
We saw some good trails coming off some fence lines.
Yeah, that's
There's a
fine.
few houses around, nothing crazy close,
Right.
and I think it's just going to be something special.
Yeah,
But
sounds good,
Ryan
man.
Shelby County spot is where we have the pictures of all these big ones at this
Right.
for this past summer, and
Uh-huh.
here recently, not so much.
Huh.
I don't know if it's the weather. You know
Yeah.
how it is. Sometimes they say when the beans turn,
Yep.
they won't hit them as much, and
Yeah.
that's where one of our cameras is. And I haven't had a picture on that camera in like 6 days.
Oh wow.
So I don't know what's going on. Hopefully they don't
Yeah.
escape us too much, but definitely
Oh,
ready to get back in the saddle for sure.
oh yes, yes sir. And that those deer patterns change up. Honestly, one of the main reasons I got after that big heavy 12 was because um, my number two buck was one that just disappeared. I hadn't had a picture of him in about 6 days, and I said, well, I'm going to let that area just be a sanctuary, and I posted a picture of it. I think yesterday or something. Where there's probably like 8 or 10 does that were at the feeder, so it's definitely a little sanctuary, and they're feeling safe there. There's plenty of deer, and the best part of it is the buck that I pulled out of there to hunt started showing back up. So
Oh, that's awesome.
if I can keep him around and get that gene in the gene pool during this season and let that be his little sanctuary, then I'm all about it.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about the hunting that you were doing prior to you harvesting this buck. How
Uh,
were things going? I mean, I know the weather had been pretty good for you. It hadn't been as hot as you probably thought it was going to be.
yeah, the weather was doing cooperating pretty well. There was not it was hot days in the evening, but the mornings were super cool, and that was really generating some good deer movement. But by the end of the evening, man, it was like clockwork. Uh, I knew, I knew the little spike would come in. I knew the little basket 6 was coming in. Then I knew the 8 was coming in. I could sit there and put a timer on when these deer were really coming in, and just being in the tree, you get your data and your intel. And I was having fun. I was having plenty of fun and questioning my sanity by letting that 3.5-year-old buck walk. But
But like I said, you can go back and read the text message I sent
yeah,
you. I said,
yeah,
patience will pay off.
yes,
And then
yeah,
it did.
yeah, oh yeah. It's funny too. I sent the picture to my cousin Kyle of the tall 8 walking right by the stand, and his only response was no.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I was gonna try to get one of your teammates on for bow hunting league, Adam, my neighbor, and
okay,
he was busier this week and
all right,
couldn't really do things, but he was able to go down to Kentucky Labor Day weekend
all
with
right.
some guys, and they did very well. I think they ended up harvesting 5 does
Yeah,
altogether.
that's pretty awesome, man. There's definitely no shortage of deer up in the northern part of Kentucky and out west either. So
Right. I don't think he was actually too far from you. I don't know exact location,
okay,
but it was some public land, northern Kentucky, that
all
they
right,
go to every year. And
good deal.
we were up in Michigan, and we'd woke up on Saturday morning, and I'm
Yeah,
getting all these text messages from I just smoked one. I'm like, oh
yeah,
man, I want to be in the stand so bad,
yeah.
but happy wife, happy life. So
Yes, sir. That's right.
we're gonna be disappearing into the woods. Here coming up in a few weeks for a while, so
Yeah,
it's probably a good thing for us to take them out and get them a little bit of fun before we get to have all of ours.
that's true, man. And my wife refers to herself as the deer season widow.
Right.
But I'm always gone doing something. So
Right. Well, I'm glad that everything worked out for you, and glad we can
thank you,
get you
sir.
back on and tell the story of everything. And honestly, I thought you'd get it done. I didn't think
Yeah,
it'd be this quick, but I'm sure we'll have plenty more stories to tell for
yeah,
everybody coming up this year. Hopefully, get you. I can't wait to see the video on this
yeah.
thing. But
I'm going to get busy on it this weekend, and we're going to hopefully have that out, release it Saturday or Sunday sometime. So
that's cool, man. Well, I appreciate it. Well, tell everybody
yeah.
where they can find you at on social media.
Again, of course, with Facebook and Instagram, that is just Buck Tags Unlimited, and Twitter is just at Buck Tags. Also on YouTube at Buck Tags Unlimited. So just give a Google search, and it should start pulling some stuff up.
And make sure you check us out on
Yes.
YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all that good stuff. And
Yeah.
give us a like and subscribe and check out Brian's stuff when he gets it put out and everything. But thanks again for watching, everybody. Thank you for the support everybody's gave us the last couple of years on everything we've been doing. But have a good
Well,
one.
all right. Real quick, man, I'll slide this
Yeah.
in there, and got to say that what makes this even more special is, we're just blue collar guys out here working and trying to share what we enjoy doing. And hey, you stick with it, guys and gals, and it's going to pay off. If your heart's into it, you're going to have success with what you're chasing. So
Absolutely.
I
And
greatly appreciate you guys
if
helping along the way.
somebody has a story that kills a nice deer, or maybe they take a child hunting, or any kind of story, and get a hold of us, we'll get you on. You can tell the story and everything like that. Like I
Yep.
know next weekend here in Indiana, youth season, we're
All right.
pumped
Awesome.
for it.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking about next Friday night, the night before we take youngsters out, thinking about having one in here with me,
All
doing a
right.
show before we go, or
Yes. Oh, yeah.
potentially Saturday or Sunday if we get one down. Get him in here and tell a story. He
Yeah.
loves our YouTube. He
Yeah.
said he
Awesome.
calls us. I can't wait to see your next video. It's so cool. I live next to a YouTuber. I'm like, yeah, I'm not that cool, buddy.
That's still awesome, though,
Oh
man.
yeah. But
Good deal.
thanks for everybody for checking us out, and comment and let us know how you like things, or how we could do something different, and just give us a shout. You guys have a good one.